Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Frequency 140. As always, joined by my co-host, Mr. Sean Bennett.
Hello, everybody.
And as you know, we're in the series now. We got the top Christmas toys by year. In this decade, we're going 1980s.
Oh,
So
yes.
yeah, we have lots of great
Mm-hmm,
things to talk
mm-hmm,
about here.
mm-hmm.
So I'll go ahead and start. If you're a little boy and a little girl, and you lived in 1980, apparently the biggest gift to get was a Rubik's cube,
Mm-hmm,
which again, legendary. I
mm-hmm.
mean, you can buy them all the time. You can get them on little keychains now.
Get them on the keychains now. We have one sitting on our table right there next to the Holy Bible and Johnny Cash Memorial. We have our Rubik's Cube.
Nice.
Because again, yes, this was a toy that it wasn't just a toy. I mean, it was something that could really challenge you
Oh yeah, it's
intellectually,
hard.
mentally. Like you had to think about just everything. And the beautiful thing about this toy, this puzzle, is once you got to where you thought you had it, and all of a sudden, boom, something would pop up, and you had to figure out a whole. I mean, you had to deconstruct everything in what you did to
Hmm.
try to figure out. It was, but then again, you see these speed runners, man. They blow my mind.
Oh, I know. Yeah, there's definitely tricks to it for sure. But
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I don't.
I don't. I never figured it out. I solved one once,
Yeah, I've done it
but
once. I've done it
yeah,
once.
just one time.
Now I've moved stickers many a times. Right? I mean, hey, it's what it is. But yeah, I've done it once. I've done it once. Mandy's done it a few times.
Cool.
Um,
Cool.
yeah, but watching those kids and they're freaks, man.
Yeah.
That's why we love them.
But yeah, man. But 1980s, man, that was a gift to get.
All right, so that was 1980, huh?
Hmm.
Rubik's Cube. Okay, all right. So 1981. I dig this. Yes, absolutely. 1981. So let's see. I'm 2 years old. My very first Christmas that I can remember was 1982. So I'm going to be in the next year type thing. But 81 is looking like they're saying the Smurfs or He-Man.
Hmm.
I'm down with that.
Oh yeah.
I'm not too familiar with the Smurfs per se as far as like toys. I had the stuffed animals and whatnot.
Yeah. Same here. I had the stuffed
Watched the
animals and the
cartoons,
little
yeah.
micro
Um,
ones.
but man, He-Man.
Oh yeah. Masters of the Universe, buddy.
Again, another toy that literally when it hit the market, it was like there's no there's so much non-competition that the competition was nothing more than imitation.
Yep. I agree with that.
Like that's when you know you've got it, is the fact your only competition is nothing more than a knockoff of you.
Hmm.
And and that's what we had a lot of. My first He-Man action figures were given to me probably about 83, 84. So, because like I said, I was a little bit young, but my older sister gave me the first series, He-Man, Man at Arms, Beastman, Skeletor. Um, those are the first ones I had, and then as I moved up, I got Tila, and I got uh,
Did you get the legendary like sets and stuff like Castle Grayskull?
yeah, no, I did. So that was the
Yeah.
thing. My sister for my 1985, no, 84, for my birthday, my older sister Katrina, shout out Katrina, uh, got me Castle Grayskull. She worked
Oh,
all summer, cut grass in order to get her little brother his own present with her
oh,
own
that's
money,
nice.
and that's what she got me, was Castle Grayskull. So I was a big He-Man fan. But like I said, I wasn't necessarily into him in '81. I was a little bit, 2 years or so afterwards, but I definitely caught up. So 80, man, He-Man, dude, that's you can't speak enough. We can do an entire episode on He-Man.
Oh, easy. It gave them the market of like, okay, we're making an animated series. We're gonna make
Yeah,
all
man.
the toys available.
Right. You're
Yeah.
right. And
I
that's
think that
another.
was probably the
Yep.
first one that did that.
Yep. You're absolutely right. That and Transformers.
Oh yeah.
That right there was the first time everybody came together. Okay, we got a product. Let's let's introduce them through a television show. Let's base the toys off the television show, and then on top of that, do a comic book.
Yeah.
Or any way you wanted to go, still, those two properties, that's exactly what they did.
Hmm.
They are 80s originals. You didn't have
Absolutely.
He-Man in the 70s. You didn't have
Nope.
Transformers in the 70s.
Mm.
These were two toy lines that were created specifically for these three aspects: comics, toys, TV.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
And boy, did it work.
Oh yeah. Big game busters,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
So we're going on to 1982.
1982.
We got let's see, the legendary glowworm.
Oh, boy.
You know, I never had one of these. I know you did
Yeah. I,
because like I heard that like they were pretty dangerous.
they're
So
very
they,
dangerous, especially when you have someone that wants to take it out on you and doesn't, doesn't understand how hard they are. The glowworm was about yay tall. Let me make sure I get about yay tall, right? And from top to bottom, it was green,
mhm.
and I had a little bit of a night stocking cap, but it was hard rubber
I know
and
this thing is
plastic, and
ridiculous.
the place in which the batteries were held was nothing but hard plastic.
Oh yeah, I'm
If you
sure.
had a kid sister such as I did that understood that all you got to do is whip that nightcap around and get a good sling, it becomes a weapon. I loved my glowworm, and then I hated my glowworm with good reason. But yeah, glowworm
Sure,
it
man.
was awesome. It was an awesome toy, man. Because you could
Hmm.
literally you'd be if you were afraid of the dark, you could lay down with this thing and just squeeze it, and that sucker would just light up, and you're good. You just it was a
Give
simple
you a
thing.
comfort thing. Okay.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah, but very very simplistic, but very comforting. Yes.
Yeah, we got another cool line. BMX bikes, man.
Mm-mm.
Holy crap, these things are awesome. Like,
Well, this again originated in the 70s.
mm-hmm. Sure
And
did.
so you had motocross, but not everybody could afford a motorcycle.
For sure, yeah.
But we all kind of had a bicycle, and if you built enough jumps and then and kind of the same fashion,
Mm-hmm.
you
And
know.
you get those like yeah,
But
like
by
homemade ramps
yeah, man,
that barely work.
yeah, but by the 1980s, BMX had hit the scene. I mean, it's like skateboarding. It had hit a new, like revolution. Everything was happening, and man, yeah, I can remember right, BMX bikes and seeing the different styles and the tricks and the variations and all the things you could get for them. And okay, so you got a racing bike, or you got a ramp bike, no, you got a street bike. I mean, there was all these different things. It wasn't just BMX. It was
Yeah, yeah,
companies started understanding there's a market,
for
and
sure.
it was a very good time to be in that business.
Mm-hmm. And then if you're a little girl and
Uh-huh.
you didn't get the glowworm, well, guess what? You got this another just icon of girls' toys that showed up here, and it's My Little Pony.
My Little Pony.
Like just little ponies that have little strands of hair. You can
Yes.
comb,
Yeah.
fashion them any way you want to, different colors. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a perfect girl's toy.
Well, it's a perfect girl's toy, but My Little Pony was probably some of the best vehicles that GI Joe could have ever ridden into battle in my world.
That's
Um,
right. So the pony was going into Castle
oh yeah,
Grayskull
oh
and
yeah,
on the
yeah.
airship. Yeah.
Because you got to think, I had a little sister, right? So we had to like divide funds, who's getting toys and this, that, and the other. So
Hmm.
I could get my GI Joes, but I couldn't necessarily afford the vehicles, the play sets, because I got my little sister, but she get My Little Pony. Well, I fixed that real quick. My Little Ponies have been recruited into the Corps, and GI Joes are now riding My Little Ponies into battle versus Cobra. I mean, so I'm
Yeah.
down with My Little Pony. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Especially the winged, the ones that could fly,
Yeah.
dude,
Done. Cobra ain't got a chance, man.
nada, nothing. And then I mean, again, if you start feeling bad, we'll just sprinkle you with some good time dust. Everybody's happy. We're all good. It's what it is, man.
Boom.
Boom.
Everything's solved.
That's right. That's the 80s. Oh my goodness. All right. So you lead me into 83.
Yep.
Okay. The Armageddon.
Hmm.
The Armageddon of Black Fridays. What Black Fridays got the name Black Friday, and everything in which we do on Black Fridays is
That's
based on
good.
1983 and the fact that this toy was so hot of a commodity that this was the first time we saw folks at doors pounding, prying, beating,
Trying to steal it out of a
yelling,
trunk.
stomping,
Yeah.
I mean, and this is what cracks me up. We're talking about how people act in 2024. This is 1983 over a Cabbage Patch doll.
Oh yeah. You know it. Those
Look up
stories
the
are
videos.
legendary.
Look up the CCTV, y'all. 1983, folks were kicking butt over
Oh
a
yeah,
Cabbage
yeah.
Patch
There
doll
was a
and
full on.
taking no
It's
names.
full on cage match for
It was,
that Cabbage Patch doll.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was chaos. And if you got one that year, by God, your mom came home with a busted lip or a black eye, or she done paid somebody to go get it for her. I promise you, it was, it was well earned. Either your
Hmm.
mama paid somebody to go get it, or she got in the trenches herself and had a knuck and buck. What I mean? So
Yeah, it's a
what a
crazy
great
toy,
toy. I
man.
mean, but it is. You
And
can watch those videos now. It's crazy,
oh, I
dude.
know. And you
They're-
talk about the black market of them, too.
right.
Like,
Well, you have one dude I watched the other day. It's they were throwing back, and the guy standing on top of the customer service with a baseball bat, explaining to everybody, these are the rules. If you break the rules, if you break the
talking to
rules,
you.
I mean, and they're like, dude, I mean but this is '83, y'all. This is where it began.
Hmm.
Consumerism, right?
Oh
That's,
yeah,
hey,
at
man.
its best.
I was like you, man. I always thought I appreciated the fact, and everybody's like, well, that's not how you do it. Well, no, that's kind of it. I mean, that's capitalism, you know. Well, you went and you bought all these dolls, and now you want to charge me double the price? Yeah, because you
Yeah,
asked what in there getting the dolls when I was. You
I would
weren't
do
beating
it.
and banging on through it. You
Yeah.
actually, if you want, do you want the doll or not?
It's like, you see this scar above my
Right.
eye?
I mean, no,
Like,
I know how much I gave for this doll, but now
Bill up the road,
now
he's
right.
dead.
Yep. We lost Bill.
Yeah, he's done.
All right, so
Just go.
amen.
Give me the damn money.
What is it, Dwight Schrute? They've got an episode on The
Oh
Office where
yeah,
he
yeah,
buys
yeah.
up the
Oh my god, I forgot
he
about
buys up
that.
all the little princess,
Yeah.
and sells them for like, yeah, great. I mean, because hey, man, that's America, that's
That's what we do.
capitalism, baby,
That's it, man.
right?
You gotta make a buck,
Damn
man.
right.
Got bills, man.
Everybody, because everybody feels the same thing. I mean, you buy up all the PlayStation 5s and this, that, and what, you know what? Hey, look, if you have enough dedication and and determination in yourself, and this is what you're gonna do, this is your hustle, this is what this is your delivery. If you take the time, you scope it out, you do everything you need to do, and you get that amount of things that everybody wants, and you get them, well, then by all means, I guess so. If they want them bad enough, you can charge whatever you want for them at that point.
Amen.
That's
You are
America.
right. Oh yeah, exactly, dude. So in America, in 1984,
All right.
for Christmas, let's see, we got two options here. All right, one is you get a hacky sack, which is always fun.
That
It
surprised
was
me.
always bad.
I know,
I'm
but
always bad at it,
that
but
surprised me though. I didn't think it was this
yeah,
early.
I know, I know. That's. I was thinking the same thing.
Right.
I would have thought that'd been like a '90s
That's
thing.
what I remember it.
Yeah,
1990s. And
but
and you're going to put it against Transformers?
I guess we have to right now. But I mean, Transformers wins all day, folks. I
I'm
mean, I'm
grateful for
sorry.
every Christmas present I've ever been given. I'm grateful for everything I've ever been given. My parents loved me. They took care of me. They listened, and they put everything I asked for, I pretty much got. I will say I would have been a total brat had I woke up wanting a transformer and gotten a hacky sack.
Yeah, I think most kids would.
I think that
They'd be
hacky
like,
sack would have
huh?
probably been tossed. Yeah, hacky sack would have been tossed. I'd have got my butt whooped. It would not been a good Christmas morning. But lo and behold, I didn't get a hacky sack. But I didn't think it was that early on. I really didn't.
Yeah, like again, I'm glad you said that because I
Yeah,
was thinking the same thing when I read it.
that blows my mind.
They
A
can
hacky
transform into
sack.
anything, man. They can transform into cars. You got Bumblebee, man. You got
Well, in the first,
Optimus
all right.
Prime.
So I was like, we talked about Dinosaur Dracula. Shout out to Dinosaur Dracula on Facebook. Right on the that page is awesome about 80s and memories and things. And they do the pages of like the Wish books, like the Sears and J.C. Penney and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, yes.
And man, just seeing like the generation one of the Transformers, Optimus Prime, Megatron, Starscream, Smokescreen, Ratchet, Soundwave, Shockwave, whatever Soundwave was there. Just great toys,
Yeah, it's
man,
great.
great
They're
toys,
so
dude.
playable, man. Like,
God, and
endless fun with those toys.
and that's why people you look at us as we get older, you're like, oh my God, you got this, you got that, because we don't have them anymore. They
I
don't make
know. Yeah,
toys
they
like
don't
this anymore.
exactly.
They don't make
Thank you.
toys for toys. I don't know I don't know what they make nowadays, but these aren't toys. Like what we
Hmm.
had were toys. You could play with them. You could lose yourself. You could build your own world with toys.
You could.
You don't have that today,
Nope.
you
Not at
know.
all.
And Transformers was the epitome of that because, geez, man,
Mm-hmm.
if you were lucky enough to get, like, you got one Transformer, two GI Joes, one GoBot, one, Thundercat, all these, you had a plethora and a full world of just greatness all night long, right? I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
could make anything happen with these things. 85, moving into 85. Okay. Um, wow, and I see 85 and 86 kind of the
Yeah, let's
same
just
thing.
go ahead and
Okay.
knock those two
All
out.
right, so 85, 86, they're both the same thing. So 85 and 86, you could either go with Care Bears,
Oh yeah.
right? We still have Care Bears at the house on my
Mm-hmm.
bed right now. Some of Mandy's collection. Um, very cool idea. I loved, that aspect, and still to this day, I love Care Bears in that sense of even being a guy. Just, it's positive. It's all positive. There's nothing about that show other than the antagonist. Everything's positive. It's all about just
Mm-hmm.
caring, loving, peace. And that's a great. That's just a great concept.
No, these
Uh,
kids will find a problem with it.
Oh, well, yeah, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. There's, yeah, yeah.
But either way, yeah,
But
we'll get
either
off
way,
that.
and this
Yeah.
this is, they got it back to back 85 and 86. Same
Mm-hmm.
thing with this next one. This next one was revolutionary, like almost to the point of scaring parents.
Mm-hmm.
Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh yeah, man.
Teddy
Pop
Ruxpin.
a tape in that bear, and he'll read
He
to
start
you.
talking to you, looking at you, and blinking its eyes, and
Mm-hmm.
and then of course, as kids figured out, because I mean that's the beauty of evolution, as children, we realize, wait a minute, you put anything in this bear and it'll move its mouth.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, Teddy Ruxpin's singing Ozzy Osbourne.
That's
And
right.
Teddy Ruxpin's singing Motley Crue, and he's singing Van Halen, and I loved every bit of it. But I can remember the first time that in the first grade, 1986, that a classmate brought, because you had show and tell at the end of the week. Every Friday you could bring in a toy or whatever, and like show and tell.
Mm-hmm.
And she brought in Teddy Ruxpin, and the entire class was enamored. I mean, we didn't know what to do. I mean, we literally, I think we spent damn near the whole day just listening to Teddy Ruxpin instead of
The
actually.
teacher.
Yeah, I mean, even the teacher was enthralled by this new.
Yeah.
It at the time, it was
It was
just,
very futuristic
it
for the
was very
time. I
much
mean, like,
so. I
my
mean,
God.
you have automated toys that move,
Mm-hmm.
but never a toy that speaks to you directly, blinks its eyes,
Yeah.
moves its head. I mean, it freaked us out. So we were all, even the teachers, like I said, were just like enthralled by this
Did you
toy.
go to the teacher and be like, "Have you ever seen a movie called Terminator?"
You know what? I tell you what, but this, so I did do that, but this is the precursor. It's so funny because this toy went to my buddy.
Oh, okay.
My
My
buddy
buddy,
led into,
good guy doll. Yeah.
and once those came out, the sales declined, and Teddy Ruxpin and my buddy. Now, of course, we look at it and go, "Oh man, that's such a cultural thing." But no, as a businessman, it really it sucked for them.
Hmm.
That film really, there's a reason why Teddy Ruxpin only had a span. Like
Hmm.
really, I mean, if you look at the history, he only had a span of maybe 2 to 3 years, because by the time Child's Play came out,
Yeah.
mm-mm,
Nobody. No.
mm-mm, any doll that talks to me, nope, nope, nope,
Going
nope,
in the
nope,
fireplace.
nope. Yes, yeah, we're not going to do this. So that, yeah, but that's 85 and 86. So you got Care Bears and Teddy Ruxpin for both 85 and 86. Now 86 got one more coming in here.
Hmm.
Again, earlier than I suspected, but I understand.
Same.
Cush Ball.
Yeah.
The Cush Ball.
Fishball's cool.
Spencer's. You could go to Spencer Gifts. The
Hmm.
Cush Balls were it was a fad, it was a craze, and it was something that everybody either was doing this, bouncing it, doing like this thing, or
Hmm.
the Cush Ball. I mean, what a weird. But
Yeah. No,
but
it's a
but that's what
weird
we were looking
concept, but
for.
it was
We were,
cool.
yeah,
It was something to
yeah.
entertain
It,
you.
it, and it
You
was
know.
simple enough. I think I honestly think that's one of those moments to where it's almost like alternative music in the 90s, to where we'd gotten so enthralled and into the point of, like, of thinking, we overthought things. Like, okay, so we got Teddy Ruxpin. All right, we got a toy that interacts with us, right? Some dude was like, man, just give me a cool feeling little ball, man. Like, just something that feels cool
Yeah.
on my hand, like
Something, man.
sensory. And it was a stoner. It had to be a hippie or stoner. Had to be. Had to be. because that's all it was. And but it worked. Everybody had a koosh ball.
Sure did. Oh
So
yeah, Kush balls were awesome.
so there you go, 85, 86 right there.
All right, so we're going to go into 1987, and the Kush ball is still
Back
prominent.
back with us. Back
Yeah,
with us, my God.
but we also have another
Uh-huh.
gift on the list, and that is the legendary game Jenga. And
Yes.
Jenga
I
is
love
so
Jenga.
much
I
fun. Oh
love
my
Jenga.
god, me and
God, I
my
love Jenga.
oh yeah, dude. Every time like we have a family gathering over my dad's side of the family, we play. They have like the huge Jenga
Yeah.
set.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, we always do that
Yeah.
at least once,
I
and
think
it's just a great game. It's so much fun. It's addictive, and it's so much fun to watch who's going to actually tip this thing over.
well, it not only is it a good homemade game in the sense of like a family can play it like, at home, but now, like you said, we've graduated and to giant games, and they're more at the sports bars or the grills or the little outdoor restaurants or the patios, right?
Yep.
Um, I think in its existence, the fact that just by seeing what it does, because you can literally have like just being in the entertainment industry in the sense of playing. I can be out on a patio and they got one of these games and like nobody can be doing anything, right? Like everybody's just kind of chilling, right? Well, then you got two or three people that come out and they're having a good time and then they start playing this game. Before you know it, if they're really into it and they really getting into this game, you have the entire patio watching and enthralled on the next move. Who's going
Hmm.
to pull out? What are you going to? I mean, it's one of those games that once you kind of you start playing, because it's all about thinking, and you really have to take your time and think. And the ones
Hmm.
that are really good at it will pull off some crazy
I
stuff,
know, dude.
and will leave a tower standing. And you're going,
Like, how is this
how
even
did you figure
happening?
that
Like,
out,
if
right?
there's even the air conditioner cuts
There,
on,
yeah,
it's falling
dude.
over.
But
You
they
know?
will make it last, and I
I
mean,
know.
so it really is a it's goes from the household game onto the bigger stage to where I think anybody and everybody can enjoy and play this game. So
Absolutely.
I can understand why it would be top.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right, here we go. So 1988. All right. Oh man. Okay. So well, I totally agree with this
Hmm.
one. I got it. I got mine 1 year after this. Understandably, some of my friends had it the year before, and it even came with Robbie the Robot.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
for the game
yeah,
Gyromite.
yep.
Hmm.
So they discontinued Robbie the Robot, but 1988, the number one Christmas gift would either be Super Mario Brothers, or
Hmm.
if parents were smart, bought it in the bundle
That's right.
with the Nintendo Entertainment System with Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt.
Yep. And get the
There we
laser
go.
gun.
That's
Yeah.
it. So that what a man. There's no competition at this point.
Nope.
We've entered into an age of, okay, this is what we're doing now. Like
Yeah.
it's yeah,
As Atari
we're
did years
yeah,
ago, about a decade later,
yeah,
Nintendo took it over
and blew it out of
and
the water.
still is on top.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is such a great iconic system, man, and so many great games like Contra, Castlevania. I mean,
Master
yeah,
Blaster,
Master, yeah,
Excite
exactly.
Bike.
Hmm.
Yeah, dude. Pro
Paperboy,
wrestling.
yeah,
Oh, dude.
like
Oh, the
this is
first wave.
just,
Kung Fu.
oh, dude, Kung Fu is so good. Oh, loved it.
Dude.
It's only like 4 levels long,
I
but damn,
know,
it's
man.
fun.
Spy Hunter. I remember playing Spy Hunter for the first time
Yeah,
on Nintendo and thinking,
hmm,
wow, this is a whole new world.
I know, man.
Because
It was so different from what you
the
have with the
colors,
Atari. Yeah, exactly.
the everything. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and like the designers, whoever made these games are just amazing. Like,
Yes.
thank you. All right, so speaking of Nintendo, we're gonna go
Hmm.
on to 1989, which I mean Nintendo's still running, rampage
Running wild.
all over the market. All right, so you would have the Nintendo Entertainment System, right?
Hmm.
So the next thing was like, okay, let's see if we can do this handheld style, and they gave us the legendary Game Boy,
Yes.
and with the one of the best launch titles ever. That would be Tetris. Tetris is one of those games that when you first pop it in, because it usually came with a bundle.
Hmm.
Like I think you could buy the Game Boy
Yeah.
separately,
No,
but I
but
mean,
you bought the bundle with Tetris involved. Yep. Yep.
yeah. And so I mean, you got that game, you popped it in for the first time, and it's very self-explanatory, and you get instantly hooked.
Yes.
It is just amazing experience to play that for the first time. And then, of course, you got so many other games. Like one of my favorites was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Attack of the Foot Clan.
Okay.
And then, of course, Mario would make an appearance a couple times on here.
Hmm.
There's just so many here that you can just go so far on. With these. We could do a whole episode on Game Boys.
It's an interesting evolution in the sense of from Nintendo. Okay, so I agree with you. I had a Game Boy. I love my Game Boy. Okay, so Here we were back in, a year before the Nintendo Entertainment System, full color, horizontal and vertical gameplay,
Hmm.
all these different sights, sounds, variations, right? And then 1 year later, because we have Nintendo, it says Nintendo, we shrink it down to a black and white screen,
Hmm.
less quality of graphics, less quality of sound, but we're like, oh my God, this is the next big thing.
Yeah, it
I
was
think
handheld,
I
man.
think Nintendo not I won't say they didn't con us. I think that was like the original testing of the water.
Hmm.
Like, let's see how serious these folks are about gaming. Like, we've given them here. We're going to pull it back and still offer it to them and see how, how well they like this. And we bit.
Oh yeah, hard.
We wanted it.
Yeah,
We were ready.
yeah, dude. Give me Zelda on the go, man. Come
I
on.
I
You get
will
Link's Awakening.
right.
It's awesome.
My theory though, my personal theory is that after Game Boy, when they came out with Super Nintendo, I think they realized that we can dumb down some of this stuff and they're still going to buy it.
Oh yeah, I mean
I
there
don't mean
was.
to say it, but that's kind
Oh,
of
I mean they did the
what
same thing with the
what
Nintendo system
right. You
itself. I
can
mean,
but
like
we
there's
we've
these
talked about
programmer
that.
guys.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, all these when they got the rights to the movies and stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, we could do again a whole episode on that
Yes.
because I mean, Back to the Future is not a good game
No, it's
anymore.
not. It literally
Neither is Knight Rider. Neither is Ghostbusters.
no,
Or
and you're going off, you're going off by looking in the store and seeing these cartridges and going, "Oh God, yes, I want to play as a
like yeah,
Ghostbuster." And
of
then you get the
course,
game, you're like, "You're not even. No, it's not."
not even close.
And I think Game Boy kind of, as much of as much as we loved it, I think it was kind of like for the programmers to say, "Okay, not that we as gamers are stupid, but we are very easily susceptible. Like we want whatever new is,
Hmm.
even if it is a step back. Well, let's do that. We'll take it." And we did that. That's what Game Boy was. Yes, it was handheld, but it was basically a glorified. We had handheld games up until then. They just weren't.
Yeah, they
They
were.
weren't under Nintendo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I
you know what I'm
understand what you're
saying?
saying.
Right.
Yeah,
Um, but
yeah, the
this,
Tiger games and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
But once you said Nintendo and you got your cartridge and it's a Game Boy, it's like, oh well, this is it's Nintendo. Even though the quality of the games were not,
No,
they
I mean like
weren't up to
no,
par.
you.
But
There was a
you
few
know,
games that were good, but I mean there was very few.
yeah,
I will say that. I'll
yeah.
agree with you on that one.
But I mean, Tetris, like you said, I mean, if you've got a game like Tetris, you can play Tetris all damn day long. I don't
Yeah,
care. I don't care who you are
it's
as a gamer. If
exactly.
you will lose yourself for a minute and let yourself play that game, you play it all damn day long, and it doesn't matter what other games they have. So they knew they had their niche right there. They
Oh
knew
yeah.
they had it right there, and that's
All right. So that was the 1980s, folks, and let us know in the comments if you got some of
mm-hmm,
these. All
mm-hmm.
right, let's see what you think about some of these. What we the response is, or maybe you disagreed with the actual gift itself. Like maybe you think that something else was bigger at this
Right.
point in
Well,
time.
and I'll throw that out. It's funny you should say that. I'll say some honorable mentions for myself. I was surprised to see, or not to see, um, for me, like 1984, the Superpowers collection.
Oh yeah.
That was another
Okay.
Kenner.
Yeah.
Superman, Batman, Green
Yeah, for
Lantern,
sure. And
Wonder
all the
Woman,
DCs.
Flash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, just so many great characters, and they had two or three series, and a lot of those are very valuable.
Very.
I had a Robin in package up to about 2 years ago, that just people were just like crazy. They couldn't believe I had it, and I'm like, because again, it's one of those toy lines. Voltron in 1985.
Oh
I
yeah.
got the Voltron, dude. Tonka actually made a die-cast uh, uh, Voltron, both lions and vehicles.
Mm.
And then you had the big plastic ones that you could buy the individual lions that had the actual action figures that would go in the lions, and you could put them together, and it formed Voltron. That was another one that was I thought would have been bigger. Um,
Yeah, and
GI
also, yeah, I was
Joe,
about to say that's exactly what I was about to say. Like the miniature GI Joes.
yeah,
I mean, that was a hell of a ride.
and these are things to where. So yeah, if anybody has any type of like, hey, I agree with you. Like, I think this was. And let us know if you've
Yeah,
got
for
any
sure,
ideas. We
for
Yeah.
sure. We'd love
Yeah,
to hear it.
because I'm surprised. I'm looking at the
Yeah.
list.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah. I was
oh wow,
surprised too.
okay, okay.
Believe me. But hey, look,
That's what it is.
the internet said it was true. Okay.
Right. So if it's on the internet, it's true. I mean, we're on the internet. We're always truthful. I mean,
Yeah, of course.
right.
Anyway.
All right. There you go.
Yeah. All right. All right. So, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications.
Yes.
Follow us on Instagram at F140pod.
Mm-hmm.
And you can follow us on Spotify and Patreon at Frequency 140 Podcast. And as always, I send to you, Mr. Bennett.
Well, brothers and sisters, thank you so much as always for joining us, hanging out with us, and talking what we talk and things in which we talk about. So, as always, geeks, freaks, nerds unite. Let's take over the world.
Peace.